If you've been working really hard at achieving a goal and you feel like you're hitting a ceiling that you're not able to break through and you don't know why, one of the main reasons, if not the main reason that you're not breaking through is something called non-confronts, okay? And I'm gonna break down what that is here in a second. Before I do, I wanted to share with you, I'm in my live hypnosis training that I do a handful of times per year. This is actually our biggest training ever. We've maxed out the room. And an interesting thing that happens when I do these live trainings is as we're going through the process, some of our students start to experience these non-confronts. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One of our students who was in here on one of the days we're doing the hypnosis work and our breakthroughs, and at night when she went back to rest for the night, her body began to break out in hives. It wasn't her whole body, but her legs began to break out in hives. She felt really, really sick and really, really dizzy, and she didn't know why. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is what's called a non-confront. It's a way for us, our subconscious mind, to hold us back from breaking through to higher levels of success. I'll give you another example of non-confronts. Non-confronts can be things when maybe we self-sabotage, but we don't know why. We're forgetful, we maybe get sick, things kind of blow up in our face last minute and we can't explain exactly what's happening. Sometimes people get, in this class we had a woman in particular who kept getting nauseous when she was going through the process, and so she did a breakthrough on what that was and was able to find out exactly where it was coming from and then let go of it, and now she's not feeling nauseous anymore. And so there's all these different things. Sometimes people get tired when they're not confronting. For those of you who run businesses, if you're working throughout the day and suddenly you get to that hard part of the day and all of a sudden you want to take a nap or you want to go do something else, you feel repelled from doing the work, likely it is a non-confront, okay? So how do we break through non-confronts? Well, first and foremost, you have to be able to identify, okay, what is happening, meaning be consciously aware. Now, most people are not familiar with non-confronts, so they just think, oh, my body's tired or this random accident is happening, and they feel as though they have no control. And so just me telling you this and you starting to listen to this, you're already beginning to know what some of these non-confronts may be. It could be a car accident. It could be, think of it this way. If you're about to break through, now this could be relationships, health-wise, it could be financially. If you have a goal you're about to break through, and then right before you break through, everything starts feeling like it's falling apart, okay, that is your subconscious mind creating a scenario so that you don't have to confront that next level. Because remember, the subconscious mind operates out of protection, out of survival. And so if it's afraid that whatever you're about to do may be too much or something bad is gonna happen or whatever, you will start to self-sabotage in these ways by creating these non-confronts, okay? So identify, just be aware of what's happening. Step 2 is you're gonna ask your subconscious mind, by the way, all these questions that I'm gonna give you, you just say subconscious mind, and then you ask the question, okay? You can ask, why is this happening? Or you can also ask, what are you telling me? Okay? So what's happening here, by the way, when you do this process, you want to make sure that you close your eyes, you relax, take a couple deep breaths so that you tune out the conscious mind so you could tap into the subconscious. So when you ask these questions, if you do it properly, now I know some of the people are going to do this and they're going to ask themselves one time and they're not going to get an answer and they're going to go, oh my God, it doesn't work. Believe me, it works when you do it correctly, okay? So make sure you're in a relaxed state when you're asking this. Now your subconscious mind may say something like, well, because I'm afraid of X, because, well, what if this happens? Or I'm doing this to keep us safe, okay? So once you get the idea of what it's trying to tell you, okay, the next thing you do is ask permission to let it go, okay? Okay, so you would say something, you would say, subconscious mind, is it okay to let go, okay, or release whatever your non-confront is, okay, whatever that may be. Once you ask permission, often you'll get 100% yes, meaning you say, hey, is it okay to let go of this non-confront? Your subconscious mind will say yes. Often, you also may get a no, okay? And if you get a no, okay, this is kind of like 3.5 question because it doesn't always come up. Okay, we'll put 3.5. If this is only if you get a no, or even if it's unsure, okay? You ask, why do you want to hold on to whatever it is, okay? Why do you want to hold on to my nausea in this case, right? Why do you want to hold on to this headache? Why do you want to hold on to keeping me stuck in where I'm at financially, okay? And when you do that, your subconscious mind is going to give you a reason as to why that is. And then the next step, which would be, I guess we'll put it here, is reframe, okay? By the way, if you're watching this video, it would be helpful to actually comment this so you can come back and just watch the cliff notes really quick and hit that like button if this is helping you out so far. So reframing is basically just getting your subconscious mind to shift and look at things from a different perspective to see why it's important to let that go, okay? Then the next step, so why do you want to hold on to blank? And then once you get 100% yes, I'm okay to let go, then you're going to ask your subconscious, okay, what's the root cause of this, okay? What's the root cause of this thing that's happening to me? By the way, I'm going to give you a warning here, okay? Trigger warning. If you are not properly trained, okay, or if something comes up and it's very triggering, meaning this memory, maybe it's a childhood memory or something like this, and you don't know what to do, okay, this can get a little dicey, okay? So make sure that you're prepared for whatever may come up, because if not, then things might throw off a little bit, okay? So again, what's the root cause of this is happening? Once you find the root cause, then you're going to take the lessons, okay? So essentially what you do is you look at whatever the root cause of this from a third person perspective, like you're watching it happen, and you ask yourself, okay, what are the positive lessons I can take from this experience? Once you do that, your subconscious mind will let go of the negative emotions it's holding on to so that you can release, okay? Release all connected memories back to now, okay? So let me give you an example. Like, for example, the woman who broke out in hives. Now, this may not be the case. I didn't personally sit down and do a breakthrough with her. But let's say when she was 5 years old, she got sick and didn't have to go to school. Well, maybe her subconscious mind, let's just say, she didn't want to go to school because she was nervous about interacting with the other kids. So it was her subconscious mind's way of keeping her safe from having those weird, awkward social interactions. So it's like, oh my God, I'm sick. So then what ends up happening is now whenever she's in a scenario where she's going to engage in a social interaction, she may make herself sick or break out in hives. As a matter of fact, I had a client years ago who I worked with who had IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's when you basically can't control your bowel movements, okay, and it just happens at any given time. Well, when we talked to her subconscious mind of why this was happening, her subconscious mind said, well, she was previously in a toxic relationship with this guy, and so the only time she would get IBS is when she was going on a date with a new guy. And the reason why this was happening is because her subconscious mind was trying to protect her from getting in another toxic relationship. So in other words, she goes on a date with a new guy. Her subconscious mind says, hey, we got to go to the bathroom to keep her. I know it's funny, but it's just crazy what our subconscious mind does to us. But it's to keep her from going on dates, because then she knows, hey, every time I go on a date with a guy, I'm going to have to freaking poop my pants, right? So after we let that go, suddenly, guess what? She went on dates and no more IBS, okay? So that is an example of a non-confront. And essentially what I did in a little bit of a deeper process is take her through the same thing. Why is this happening? Identify that it's happening. Hey, I get IBS when I go on dates, specifically with men. That's the only time. Why is it happening? Oh, because, it's trying to keep me safe from getting into another toxic relationship. Okay, is it okay to let go? If it's a yes, then we go into, okay, what's the root cause? Where is this coming from? And then take the lessons and then boom, just like that. So listen, guys, if this is information that you would like to learn for yourself so you can help other people experience their breakthroughs, on all different aspects of life. I'm going to put a link down in the description to get access to a free hypnosis training where I dive a little bit deeper into the basics of hypnosis. And also I'm going to put a link for you to book a call with our team to see if learning this process and maybe even potentially joining us in one of our live trainings, may not be in this room because we're maxed out, but joining us in one of our live trainings, if that would be for you. So if so, there's going to be a link down in the description for you to book a call. See you guys in the next video.